Hello everyone, this is Vincenzo and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to play again a bot, but in a principled way. So we are going to play principled moves against Elani, the 400 rated bots, and I'm not alone, but I'm here with Yaswanth, so we are going to play together. As you can see, we have the classroom on the left side. Yeah. And
So I can just move
okay, yeah,
and
here is Yaswanth. You can say hello.
hi. So today I'll be playing the moves in the classroom, and Winnie will be able to see the moves, and we can um, talk about the moves and um, make a common move. So if we both agree on a move, we're gonna play it, and we'll try to be as principled as possible.
Yeah, that's completely right. So, yesterday I played Martin. So, we believe that the next bot should be Elani. Because if we play every single bot, it's going to be pretty much the same because they have the same rating. So, we're going to play Elani today.
Yeah.
So, let's
And she's
choose.
also a free bot, so if you don't have a membership, you'll still be able to play her.
Yeah, you can do the same because Elani is a free bot. So, okay, let's put this like the volume to 50.
Or
Yeah, yesterday I played d4, so maybe we could play e4, but I don't know, it's your choice, Yaswanth. What do you
we
prefer?
can play before, try something new. It's also
Yeah,
just as principle as before.
yeah, this is a French defense, but probably only for the first move because
Yeah.
Elani is going to play something like this on the second move. So
Yeah.
probably
So
to be
first,
principled, yeah,
yeah, d4.
yeah, d4 is the best move. Wow, and this is actually the
Oh wow,
French
that's
defense.
you playing the
So
French.
now we
Okay.
can consider taking, advancing. Uh, I always play this, the advanced French,
Yeah.
because you take more space, and it is a common fact that when you have a pawn on e5, you want to attack. So
Yeah.
yeah, e5, let's go.
So if you
Wow,
have,
I'm
oh my
very
god, she's
surprised.
actually playing two.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is all theory. So as I said in a previous video, you have to know your openings, and Elani does. So here, what do you think, Yaswanth?
I would just play c3
Yeah,
because, for example, when I play the Caro-Kann
yeah,
and I do this, you want to like protect your center and always capture with the pawn so that you like still have the space in the center.
yeah, I agree. I always
Always
play
free capture with the pawn.
c3.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are other moves like obviously
Yeah,
knight
she's just
here.
playing hardcore theory.
Yeah, she's playing all the best moves. Probably, well, we have to beat Elani. So,
Yeah.
yeah, now probably
It's
developing the
playing
knight. Sometimes I go f4, but like I
probably
always
not
lose
good
to
at getting a knight into the game.
yeah, and getting the knight
Yeah.
is key. You have to, in order to be principled. I'm very surprised to see all these theory moves. This is all theory.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm off the theory.
yeah. By the way, yes, you have to develop your knights early to be principled. Now, um, what do we have? Obviously, if we move the bishop to any square,
Obviously, it's a b pawn.
yeah. So probably we want to keep the the bishop here, and actually I almost never face the French. I always play the French, but I almost never play the French as white. So here maybe the best move, well, there is this London move, but then they can probably just take, and then we have to trade queens and recapture.
Probably not as principled because we open up their A file.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
probably
if we
not.
let 400 rated bot, we don't even know if they're gonna recapture.
Yeah, maybe we capture the queen and she plays another move like on the bomb cloud and we go back. Yeah,
Um,
well, we have to be principled, but we also have to find the best moves. So yes, if we go, oh yeah, there is a trap actually here.
yeah,
This is
that's
an opening. Uh, it's called like it's some gambit. I don't remember now. Well, probably you know the trap here.
yeah. So if you play
Yeah,
this,
let's see in
if they take,
the classroom. Yeah,
yeah, they take, and if they take the knight, it's a blunder because they can just take, and the queen can't take because we have a discover check.
yeah, winning the queen. So yeah, maybe we could play it and see if the bot blunders.
Yeah, but
Would
if
be
you're playing it there and we play this, they're probably gonna play this. Just
yeah, and actually
then we don't get a super check at the end.
yeah I'm
Yeah,
playing
and we can.
a daily game against Mugo, the club uh, member, and this is the exact opening we played. I went here to see if he will fall for the trap, and obviously he's a very strong player and played this.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a fun fact. So yeah, maybe we go here, but then we have to think about something else.
Yeah,
If the,
but once we play it, we don't know what to do after he plays bishop d7
yeah,
because our pawn is hanging, and if we move our bishop to defend it,
yeah,
our
and
b pawn is
I
hanging.
believe in the daily game I played this to defend, but obviously not very principled because you moved a piece twice. Although developing the bishop is probably a good idea
Yeah.
because then we can castle. We can even sacrifice a pawn in this position. Okay, so
Okay. Theory.
yeah, now I feel better. Now what do we do? Maybe just castle?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Probably
be.
most principle.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
the
get the
idea is
pawn
this. Okay,
and
and now we see why it's a 400 bot. Now we can develop the bishop, for example. Well, sometimes I played this move, but I think it's very bad because
yeah, we just went into this and
yeah.
take with the knight,
So probably
and we
just developing here,
yeah.
threatening to
So
win a pawn.
yeah, but we'll probably not take it because we want to keep our center solid.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Because every time you take away from the center, then okay, maybe you win a pawn. That's good, but you give away squares most of the times. So you have to be careful. I mean, in this
The b
position,
pawn
of
is going
course.
to be really weak. It's hard to. It's only defended by the knight if we take.
Yeah,
Um,
then that's right. This pawn would be unprotected. I mean, protected only by the knight, and then they start harassing with these moves, or like this, and they are going to win the pawn back. So
yeah,
okay, now maybe a principled idea is to develop the knight.
yeah,
So looks like a good move to me
yeah,
because I mean, against bots, especially low-rated bots, you want to attack very often, but in order to attack, you have to get your pieces out in the game and also closer to the enemy king. So we cannot start an attack right now like this because it doesn't achieve anything.
yeah.
So yeah.
I'm thinking of a move like this.
Oh, That's a very interesting move.
Yeah, it just looks weird, but the idea is to play f4, f5,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
and
rook,
that's
and then eventually we're gonna get our knight back there,
yeah,
like yeah, get our knight back, and we'll also open up the f file, so we
yeah.
have more with that.
That's a very interesting idea because we want to, now that the king is still in the middle and all these pieces are undeveloped.
Yeah,
Now we want to start an attack because we have developed all the minor pieces. Now we have to bring the strong pieces to the game, and by pushing the pawn, there are all sorts of ideas. So yeah,
yeah.
this is
So
a
once
very
we develop
interesting.
we wanna get our rooks involved.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah. When they develop like this, you always consider taking. But I
it
mean,
opens up the uh, so if you're like scared of getting attacked,
yeah,
you should probably not take this because
yes,
they have this, and eventually they might have some pressure.
yeah. That's very good point. So I guess we just um, stay principled and we go on with the plan. Because
Yeah.
when you find a plan, a strategy, you might want to follow it. So yeah, let's go probably c5 now. If they take, we can take with the bishop. Not really,
I
but
think let's lose a pawn if we play this.
yeah, maybe we bring the queen like this, but then they can push c4. Maybe like
Wait.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what
because
about
going
this?
back with the knight right now doesn't make much sense. Maybe
Yeah.
this is a move, perhaps not so principled because you push a pawn in front of the king.
Yeah, but
But
at this point it's fine because his pieces are not actually like anywhere close to attacking us.
yes, so yeah,
So if we
there is absolutely no attack. This bishop is not going anywhere. This knight is stuck. This knight is useless. And also, you know what? If we go here to prepare this idea, they could just go here.
yeah,
And then we have to go here.
yeah. Put it over here.
So probably not a bad move after all.
Yeah. So I'm thinking of g4 or queen h5.
Oh, oh yeah. Because if we go
The
g4
whole
now,
strategy of playing just f5
yeah,
just to prepare.
and also this
Yeah.
move, it's annoying.
Yeah. And
So
then you
maybe
have
we
to
get the queen first. Yeah.
um,
Also, there is I spot some idea here by going queen here and then bishop here, and
yeah.
but it's not like a forcing sequence. So
Yeah.
it's just some
Then
yeah.
I think we have to play this quickly because if we give black enough time to consolidate, we're gonna play something like this. And
Yeah,
if we take, they take. Our pawn is kind of blockaded, and our bishop is kind of bad.
yeah, it's very
Yeah,
very bad. So yeah, let's go here because now, as I said, we developed the minor pieces, so we might as well um, move the queen to a good square, and now we can uh, maybe play g4.
you can just also play f5 because it's protected enough now, so we can just
Yeah,
play this.
yeah, that's right. f5 is possible now, so we don't have to prepare an idea. if it is possible. And usually, yes, this is a useful tip, that if you are preparing an idea like f5,
Yeah.
you have to be careful, because if you play too many preparative moves, actually the opponent can start attacking you, so you
Yeah.
have to be quickly. So yeah, let's go here. If they take, we just take with the bishop. Now yes, we have to consider this, this pawn fork. But here again, maybe not so principled playing this move, but I'm obviously thinking about this, because they cannot take like this. If they take like this, of course we win another pawn with check, and now the rook is open. So we didn't mention this fork earlier, but I believe taking like this was probably a better move, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because
I completely understood that they can just take with the pawn and we cannot take that. Because I thought two minor pieces are guarding it, but the rook is guarding it. So
oh yeah.
I guess just take the g pawn, maybe?
Yeah, I believe this is not a very good move, because since the king is still in the middle and we have developed everything, and now our bishop is also good, to be fair.
Yeah.
Now we can, if we sacrifice a piece, well, we win. Well, yeah, if they take like this, obviously we have to move the queen. If they take like this, well, we win the rook. So yeah, I believe taking with the bishop, sacrificing the bishop for a pawn. Well, this is
okay.
I mean,
so
I don't know what the ancient thinks about this sacrifice. Maybe we rushed a little, but I believe it's overall a good sacrifice, because the king is still in the middle. It's not going to castle anywhere, because the bishop is blocking. Here it's like a suicide.
Here.
So yeah, probably. Yeah, just take. And if they take with the queen, we are happy. They don't. They prepare some discovery ideas.
So this is almost mate.
Yeah, because they have to cover like this, right? And then we take. Oh, wait.
Actually.
Yeah. Did you see something with the bishop, with the rook? Let's see here in the classroom. I believe it is like forced mate in some moves. So taking it
takes pawn.
Yeah, taking it for sure the best move, because if they block with the queen, well, checkmate. If they block with the bishop, there is some nasty ideas. There are some nasty ideas, such as queen here, bishop here, even taking with the rook, maybe.
Wait.
Okay, so let's try to find the best move. This is like a puzzle. Probably everything is winning here. Maybe even taking this. Yeah.
So this.
Okay.
The bishop can block because it's pinned, right?
See. Yeah.
So they have to block with the queen, which is 4.
Yeah, I see what.
When they take, the queen is pinned. The queen cannot take.
Yeah.
And then they're forced here. Then we have this.
Yeah, you know what? I believe that, yeah, this is probably the move, because look at this. They block with the queen, and this is checkmate, because the queen is pinned.
Yeah, I didn't even see that. Okay.
Yeah, because it's like if I go here, they capture with the queen. And then I trade everything, but no, I believe it is checkmate. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So, wow. Very nice finish. Not even taking the queen. Yeah,
This is going to make a great thumbnail.
and you know what? I believe that when we try to play principled moves in the opening, then they lead to a stronger attack.
Yeah.
Whereas,
Once you get the pieces involved, you have
yeah,
so many tactics and stuff presented
yeah.
to you.
So this is very like instructive, serious, I believe, because you play principal moves in the opening. You try to find principal plans in the middle game, and usually you get a strong attack, at least against these bots. But I mean, playing principled can't be bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, very nice game. 90 moves, very nice checkmate. Well, one blunder apparently. We're going to check the game review here.
Yeah. It's probably not a blunder. It's just that the quick review is sometimes bad.
Yeah,
Doesn't actually evaluate the position correctly.
yeah, that's right. So,
Or you have a few
yeah,
probably
here I'm
mistakes.
going to put the window, like maximize the window, because
Okay.
otherwise I cannot show the moves and the board at the same time. So okay, apparently we played with 77.2, maybe 3 mistakes. It's very surprising, but probably you know why they are mistakes, because there were some ways to win a piece or something, and we played something else. So
Yeah, which is great. Principal moves just castle quickly and stuff.
yeah, but okay, we don't
And get
really care.
confident.
Yeah, okay, let's check the analysis. So this is the French defense advanced old theory, which was very impressive. So let's see how many moves of theory. Oh, and by the way, this is the Milner Barry Gambit. So it has the name 6 move of theory with 5 moves for the bot. And
Yeah,
obviously,
moves of theory is crazy for a 400 rated bot.
yeah, I mean, I don't even play 5 move. Oh, and yeah, I know why we got such a low accuracy, because
Yeah,
most of the times the engine just wants you to take away from the center the C pawn. I don't know why it wants this idea in the London. It wants this idea in a lot of positions where the opponent goes C5. I mean, here doesn't make any sense. Why would you develop, create a battery for your opponent pointing down to your king?
yeah,
I mean,
yes.
please. And this is why we got 77 accuracy. You see here these moves. I mean, again, well,
Yeah, that's a mistake. Yeah,
this
that's
is
such a huge mistake.
very arguable that this is a mistake instead of taking. I mean, of course you win a pawn, but we are
Take
trying to
bot
stay.
must.
Yeah, we're trying to keep this principle and just develop. I mean, this should be like a good move, not a mistake by any means.
Yeah,
But okay, now yeah, again, mistake. Taking was uh, +3. I mean, you win a pawn, it's +3.
yeah, you
Now
didn't
here,
want to take or something. Probably.
yeah, rook c,
Oh,
rook
you want
c1. Okay, a blunder. Why? Because you win a pawn. I mean, winning the pawn. I've never seen a game where winning a pawn was +3. Probably never in my life. And this is
Yeah,
the missed win. And now what? This was bad? Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
So we should have.
Taking was a great move. Okay. And then, yeah, but I'm happy
Yeah,
to see that this was a mistake and this one was the best move. So
yeah.
yeah, maybe you want to share some ideas on why g6 was a mistake.
G6 is a bad move because it just sacrifices a pawn. We just took a free piece and we can just desperado.
Yeah,
So we're gonna lose the bishop anyway, so we can just sacrifice it for a pawn.
yeah, that's right, because we are basically here, we are exchanging pieces, but no, they go here, and now we are not only giving the piece back, but we are also winning a pawn, and also opening this very strong and dangerous line. And
Yeah,
again,
this
I
is a
mean,
more obvious counter
yeah,
because it just walks into our attack.
yeah,
I mean, we have a queen, a bishop, and a rook lined up on the f pawn, so it's
yeah,
just really bad for the opponent.
yeah, that's right. We're going to take with check. Now
And
probably the killing,
that's a really bad move.
yeah, the suicide here. Wow, it's made in 10. Wow. Well, maybe we spot the
Best moves.
sequence. Well, actually, we spot the sequence, but they played the bad moves, so it was not made in 10, but in fewer moves. So, this is the best move, obviously, because after you retreat, it is discover check, so they cannot recapture the bishop. Also, the queen is very strong. If we didn't play this move back in on move, where was it? On move 5? Oh, wait. I cannot see the queen moves. Probably. Oh, yeah, it was like the missed win, you're right. If we
Yeah,
didn't play this move, now the attack wouldn't be possible. So
yeah,
developing the queen, bringing the queen out, was actually a good idea, not a missed win, I believe.
yeah.
And here, as
Yes,
we said,
yes. Everyone finds the best moves, but it's hard to find the best moves as a human.
yeah,
So we can be slightly inaccurate, but we can still win the game.
yeah, that's right. I mean, you can find, you can play like good moves, sometimes inaccuracies, but if you don't blunder, you should do fine. So this was
Yeah,
the mate in 2. Instead, blocking with the queen was mate in 9. So very difficult to find, to be honest. Mate in
yeah,
9. Of course, you are up a queen, you're going to win. But they blocked with the bishop, and this was the move,
yeah.
because after they blocked, uh,
Queen,
this is very aesthetic
yeah.
checkmate, right? I mean,
The queen
look at
and queen
the
are like
pins.
facing each other, but they cannot capture
Yeah,
the queen.
everything is pinned. This is very, very nice. So yeah, this was the game where we tried to play principal moves against Elani.
Yeah,
And I believe it was a good game. The engine wants to make us believe it was not so good. I mean, mistakes, very debatable, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think
N-
developing should not be a mistake because it does not hang anything.
yeah,
Like taking
in
pawn
fact,
is probably not worth it.
let's turn on the lines, and I'm going to put like 5 lines here, because I don't believe that that was a bad move. Probably we are going to see the move here,
Yeah,
and maybe it's going to take a while. I'm already seeing the move. I mean, sure, not a mistake. I mean, it's the second best move right now.
yeah,
Now it's the third, now the second, and it's +2. So I believe that this is the quick review analysis. Sometimes it's very, very bad, because now look, Stockfish 14 at 22 depth says that it is the third best move after H3. I mean, h3, it's probably not a common move. Maybe the idea it's the same as you found knight e1. Here you can go knight h2 with basically the same idea.
Knight e1 is a pretty common move in openings like the King's Indian defense and King's Indian attack.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, once they pop up the center, they just move the knight out of the way and push the f pawn and all the pawns.
But of course it was not a mistake. That's for sure. Then this was the mistake. Let's see what the engine thinks. This was the mistake according to the engine. I believe it was a very good idea because the pawn is still defended. And then we prepare this move. And then if the game changes, the position changes, we can even bring the knight to the other side of the board. We never know where we want the knight. So very flexible move, I believe. Yeah, it's suggesting other things, winning the pawn. Bishop g5, I mean, nobody is going to play this move.
Doesn't it just run into f6?
Yeah. So rook e1 again. Why would you play rook e1? If you want to push this pawn, you want a rook behind it.
Yeah, the idea is kind of similar. The engine just wants rook e1 so that you can activate your rook. Yeah. And we just want to open up the f file so that we can activate our rook. So it's like the same idea but like different ways. Yeah, that's right. And this was the inaccuracy according to the engine. Let's see what the engine thinks. Yeah, probably it has a lot of moves before that move, but I mean inaccuracy is still like a good move. Like not a good move, but it's a playable move. Yeah, here knight d to f3. I mean, why? If you go back, why will you go here? h3 again. Going back with the knight, rook c1. Yeah, okay, whatever. Then here we played queen h5. It says that it is a missed win. But because, I mean, yeah, the engine doesn't find it because he wants to take and focus probably on the queen side after taking, like with these moves probably. Yeah. So this is why the engine doesn't find this idea, because after you take this pawn, which is in fact the best move because you win the pawn, the engine probably wants to focus on the other side of the board. But it was a very legitimate move in my opinion. Now mistake. Let's see, we played f5. Let's see what the engine thinks. I think f5 is more of a mistake because I miscalculated. So I thought minor pieces are actually protecting it.
Yeah.
So we can just win the pawn back. But the way how we did it is we just blundered the pawn.
Yeah, that's right. Although it was interesting because that blunder led to a very nice attack, sacrifice and checkmate. So yeah, here we should have prepared the f5 move, but that's okay. Yeah, that's okay because even after this, we still have some advantage, like +1. Well, now the engine is thinking. Oh yeah, he takes. Yeah, here the engine says this, but probably they can counter attack. You take, they take, you take, they recapture, they take your bishop. I mean, there are a lot of tactics if you attack the queen. So taking will probably the easier move. Here it's the second move. I mean, you only have 2 moves here. And here it was a mistake. Here I'm very happy that this was a mistake because now it is the right time to give back the piece.
Yeah.
And even if they take with the f pawn, they still open the line.
Yeah.
So that's good. Now obviously here there is not much to say. We already said,
Seven is just a really bad move.
yeah,
And also king f8.
yeah, now
King
it's
right. Right.
yeah, and then there is no way this was the best move. And let's see if we went, well, actually this move is not even recommended, because it takes a lot more to deliver checkmate. You have to trade, well, not like this. Yeah, and you go back. I mean, you're still winning, obviously. +8, but takes a lot longer. You go into an endgame.
Yeah.
And instead we had this very nice move. And even taking with the bishop led to mate. So we can see, we can check this line. Yeah.
But the problem, yeah. So you found the simplest one.
Yeah. Then you give a check. You were showing this line because you give another check with the, and now it is simply checkmate. So this is also a very nice checkmate, to be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything. Yeah. Also here, taking with the pawn will lead to mate. Taking with the rook, everything is.
Yeah, also rook takes bishop.
Okay, and
but
then
it's just.
And then you go here, and probably you give a check.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you were showing this.
Next, basically mate. Because after that, you just have the same mate.
Yeah, the same mate. So very nice too, because actually, well, we could have played this line because it's mating 9, so very nice.
I found the sequence, but I was like overcomplicating it, and you just found mate in 1, so I was like, well, yeah, let's go with mate in 1. Yeah,
well, this looks like a very different mate to me. I mean, mate with the knight on b3.
Oh my god.
So yeah, this is with perfect play, but looks insane, to be honest. So let's see the line here. Check. We go here. The same. And what's the difference? Wow, this is not the line.
Yeah, it's a different one.
So what happens? This is the line, and it goes like this, I believe. Oh, after you wait, what's happening? Check. And the king moves. Okay, the king moves instead of taking with the queen, and now you give another check. Oh, they sacrifice the queen. You deliver another check, another one.
The king somehow walks all the way.
Wow.
To the other side of the board.
Wow, this is amazing.
Yeah. The engine is just crazy.
Yeah, it's like even if the engine is going to lose, it's going to lose in the most difficult way to find. Yeah, but okay, very nice game to. It led to a nice attack, nice sacrifice, a nice checkmate. So yeah, very satisfied with this game.
Yeah, that was fun. Nice mate.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, thank you again, Yaswanth, because this was very instructive in my opinion. We played principal moves and we have beaten Elani. And next time we're probably going to play Aaron, the 700 rated one.
Okay.
So okay, I believe this is everything for the video. So thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye.